Hi, everyone. Have you ever had a dream? A dream that you could create something that would not only change you and your family and your community, but potentially the whole world at large? Well, my next guest just did that. She created her dream with very little money to no money in her pocket. Stay tuned and listen to how Latorie Lloyd took a dream and built it into 4 early childhood development learning centers and how she is carried on in her life full of service and leadership. I'm Robin McCoy, and welcome to Crushing It with Your Tribe.
As a Texas Realtor, Robin McCoy is in the unique position to meet and know so many different people in a wide range of industries. These people are her tribe, and she leverages them not only to help her business, but to help theirs as well. Welcome to Crushing It with Your Tribe, where we share real talk about building business and life relationships. Here is your host, Robin McCoy.
Hey, everybody, it's Robin McCoy, and welcome to another episode of Crushing It with Your Tribe. And today I have such a good friend and top 10 sister from ABWA on, Miss Latorie Lloyd. How are you?
Hey, I am great, Robin. How are you?
I'm doing so good. It's so good to see your face. I feel like I haven't seen it in a really long time.
It's been a long time. It's great to see you as well.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about Latorie. She is a native of Charleston, South Carolina, and currently resides in Moncks Corner, South Carolina with her family. She is the owner and CEO of Aspire Early Learning Academy, LLC, and she extends her passion for helping families as a realtor with Agent-Owned Realty, in which she serves the Low Country. She is an adjunct professor with Trident Technical College. Latorie is the author of Aspire in Your Pursuit and the co-author of the A to Z of Early Childhood Management. She has a master's of arts degree in management leadership, a bachelor of business administration with a concentration in human resources management, an associate of arts degree in public service with a concentration in early care and education, a child care management certification, and a real estate license. Wow. That's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot.
And I want to throw in there too. Now, you're still on the city council, right?
Yes, I serve on town council.
So she is on the town council. In 2019, obviously, she was awarded the top honor as American Businesswoman for the American Businesswomen's Association. So, wow, how do you do all that?
I don't know. Well, for the most part, I just take every day at a time and look at the task and the responsibilities I have for that day, and I focus on that day. And it's pretty simple concept, but sometimes it's hard to do because we're so busy thinking about the next day or next month or next year. So sometimes I have to realign myself and say, okay, no, let's focus on what we're going to get done today, and then we'll worry about
I
tomorrow.
think that's probably a common thing, right? We know everything we've got to do today, but we also know that there's things that need to be done tomorrow and the next day and next month. And so it kind of gets all in our head, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
So let's go back. Tell me about Aspire. Tell me how you decided you were going to open and get into I guess it's all the whole childhood development, education, and all that. And tell me, because I know you've got what, 5?
4.
4 schools now.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So Aspire is like 1/3 of my heartbeat. I have 2 children. I have 2 boys. So I can consider Aspire one of my babies as well. I began working with children in 1993. So my first job working with children was watching a special needs child while I was in high school. And of course, if we want to go a little bit deeper than that, I've always watched all of the family kids. Everybody refers to me. I was a family babysitter. So it was like seeds were being planted when I didn't even realize it. So I started out in 1993 working, my first job watching a child with special needs. And then in college, I started working at after school program. And so I just knew that that was my passion. So I got my associate's degree in early childhood, and then I got a job as a director at a very young age. Like my oldest son, who is 21 now, he was about 9 months when I got that job as a director. And I was like, okay, I can try this. I can do this. And it was life-changing. It
I,
was a
I can
challenge,
imagine.
but it built endurance. At my first center as a director, I had 130 children enrolled in
Oh
my
my gosh.
program.
Wow.
So, yes, talk
Wow.
about throw me to the wolves.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah. So
That's
it was
funny.
one of those things where it says sink or swim, and sink or swim is a real concept. So I I got in there, learned it, and figured it out. And from there, I worked pretty much every position in early childhood. I worked at the private corporate style centers. I worked at a religious facility for church where I went there. They had 40 children. I grew it to over 150 while I was there for about 4 years. I taught Head Start, which I love. Head Start has a huge passion for me. I mean, I have a huge passion for Head Start. And then I also work for Early Head Start. And I remember one day, I was working for a company and I was very frustrated. It was almost like I had a glass ceiling. And I took a
Mm.
week off for my birthday, and this was in 2012. I took a week off for my birthday, and I said, "You know what? I can do this." Robin, I had no money, none whatsoever. Like,
Most
I
of the
was a
best
single
things come out
parent.
of no money, right?
Exactly. Like, you have no choice but to hustle. It's like grind
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
I took that week off. I looked on Craigslist. I don't even know if Craigslist still exists.
Not the way we
But
wanted to, I don't think.
no, right, right. So I looked on Craigslist and I found this building, and it was crazy how the Lord lined it up because he had just posted that building like the day before. And I saw it that next day and I called him up and I was like, okay, his name was Mr. Watley. I said, I would love to be able to see this facility. And so I went there. It used to be a flower shop, never a childcare center. And I told him I want it. How was I gonna pay for it? I don't know. So I said, I get paid. I said, I get paid
Wow.
next Friday. Can you hold this building for me? And I will bring you my down payment, my deposit. And so he was like, yeah. And of course I was leasing it. And he was like, yeah, I'll bring it. I'll hold it for you if you want it. And I was like, I really do want it. I'll sign something, whatever you want. Just give me an opportunity.
Wow.
So like I real legit don't promote this, but I did not pay my rent that month, October of 2012, because I took my money and put it
You paid the
down
rent over
on that.
there.
Yes, I did. So again, like, it's not something I'm bragging about, but it's one of those things where I had to make a sacrifice. So I ended up having to pay a
Yeah.
late fee, but I made the sacrifice for a foundation that I knew had a mustard seed of faith that would take me further and excel me further.
Yeah.
So he was he was very sweet person, which is another reason why I constantly give back. But he allowed me to pay half of my rent on the lease on the building for 6 months. So
Wow.
he said, I know. He was like, you pay half. I know you're having to get it all started. So it took me 10 months to open up my first location. And I worked and I took everything I had. I paid my bills. My mom, oh my gosh, she's a lifesaver. She helped me pay some bills as well. And then I sit there and poured whatever additional resources I had into the business. And of course, it took a long time because when you need money, the banks don't lend you money.
No, they
You
don't. They
know,
say, but you don't
they
have any
don't.
money. And you're like, that's why I'm here.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, are we missing the dots right now? Okay, can we please connect the dots? I need money. You have money, but you're telling me that I need money to get your money. Oh, so for all those who wants to start businesses, I feel you. I feel
Yeah.
you. Uh, so I then developed the vision to let my job fund my dreams. And that's what happened. I worked those
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
months and I learned how to budget. I think me and my boys ate egg and rice, peanut butter and jelly, like I mean, if we want to go a little deeper, pork and beans and rice too.
Yeah.
Like, Like you learn how to do everything
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
rice. And we made it work, we made it work. So just I guess fast forward,
Yeah.
I opened that one in July, 10 months. I consider October the 1st of 2012 my founding date.
2012.
So yes, actually I'm celebrating 10 years. Woo! I know that's a huge milestone. But October the 1st is when I signed my first lease on my first property, filed my EIN, filed for my LLC. Like I just knew that this business was going to take off on October the
Wow.
1st of 2012. And I began to work. I allowed my job to fund my dreams. And then I just build in July of 2013 is when I opened the doors for the first building.
Okay.
It
Okay.
took 10 months, but that was okay because all things work for good. And it just took me that time to get my systems in place and get people into place and open up my classrooms.
Right.
And
Right.
then yes, right after that, it took me 3 years to get myself acclimated with business ownership, which is not for the weak.
Yeah.
It's a hustle. Woo.
Nope. Nope.
And yes.
No.
So it took me about 3 years. And then 3 years after that, I opened up my second location in August of 2017. And not 2017, I'm sorry, August of 2016. And then August of 2017 is almost like Siamese twins, I guess. The year
Yeah.
after, I opened up the third location and that one just kind of fell in my lap. And again, I did all this with no loans, Robin, none. Like,
Wow. That's
yeah,
incredible.
thank you. Just taking the money, and a lot of times with as business
Yeah.
owners, we was like, "Oh no, my business owed me this money because I poured into it." But I took that money and poured it back into the business, took out what I
Yeah.
needed, and just poured it back into the business, the rest of it, so that I can grow it.
Well,
Um,
and after you open that first one and it takes 3 years for you to figure it all out, right?
yes,
To know what sort of people that you're looking for in your
yeah,
talent, right? In the talent that you
right,
hire. And the best way that systems will work for you and your business,
right,
how to market it, how to do all the things. And then once you do that, the next ones come quickly, easily. I use those
yes.
terms loosely, but once you've got a system in place, it's just duplicating that system at a different location.
That is all it is. I had read a book one time. I can't remember the name of it. I wish I could, but it talked about the duplication process that you can make $1 million selling a $20 product if you're just duplicating it. And that's
Yeah.
all it is not only just putting in your systems in place, but learning who you are as a business owner as well. Knowing your
Yeah.
skills, your talents, and what you're good at and what you actually hire somebody for.
Yes, they used to say that if you had an area, and I don't like to use the word weakness, but something that you're just
Mm,
not strong in, that you should work
right.
on that and get better at it. No, hire somebody to do that, and you do what you excel at, because you'll go that much
Exactly.
higher, that much faster. Instead of me sweating
Yeah.
over here doing my
Yeah.
own taxes, which I will never
Right.
do. It
Oh,
makes
we'll
me
be in jail
cry.
next week.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
IRS be knocking on the door. Not doing that.
Yes.
I'm gonna hire somebody to do those pieces, or a
Yes.
bookkeeper or something like that, because that is gonna leave me time to do what I really need to be doing, and that is building the business and making money in the business.
Exactly. I remember my grandfather used to always say, "A jack of all trades is a master at none."
Mhm.
And that
Yeah.
always stuck with me. Yes. I don't have to know it
It's
all. I just have to know
true.
the people to put in place.
Right? Right? I don't need to know how to do all the things. I just need to know what their phone number is. The
That's
people
right.
that do know. I just need their phone number and I'll get the rest taken care of. I actually had a coach one time that said, if you are trying to figure something out for more than 3 minutes, then it's taking you too long. I mean, something like, I can't get this to download, or how do I Photoshop this or work that, or whatever those sorts of things are. She goes, go
Yes.
find somebody to do it for you. Just
Yes.
why are you wasting hours trying to do something that'll take somebody else 20 minutes and it'll cost you $20? Go let
Exactly.
somebody do, and it's letting go of control. And
That's
I
a
would
hard thing.
imagine as you're building all of this, and again, you've got 2 kids, everything you're doing is pouring into this. You haven't made any money for the first 10 months. You're eating rice and beans and just keeping the roof over your head and keeping
Yes.
your children alive. And
Yes.
and so now we fast forward, you know, now you've got four schools open, and you are, I mean, you're an expert in the field. How does that feel when you look back at that day?
I still feel like it was yesterday. Like I need to
Yeah?
pinch myself because it's a dream. Um, but I guess I'm humbled by it because I remember the struggle that it took to get to it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I still, I guess I still walk with one hand, I guess one foot on the ground and one foot on a banana peel, like I can slip at any day. And I remember what it's like to be back in that position. So
Yeah.
I'm really
Right?
I work really hard to make sure that I protect what and I say we because even though I'm the owner, I couldn't do it alone. I have an amazing team.
Yeah.
Amazing team. Right now we have 24 ladies that work with us, and it's just I couldn't do it alone. So I have to make
Yeah.
sure that
Yeah.
we protect what we built. And what's amazing, I think another thing that kind of blew me away recently is I just recently launched a 401k plan for the business for our team.
Oh, that's
And
amazing.
it
That's
is amazing.
amazing that
Scary,
you're able. Yeah.
but amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what a benefit
Yeah.
to the people that work for you. What a benefit for them, and that because you're able to do that for them, the loyalty that they provide you as well. Because we all know as a business owner, it's expensive to keep hiring people. It's so expensive to hire the wrong
Yes.
people.
Oh gosh, yes.
Because not only were they
Yes.
doing the wrong thing, but you've invested time and all this, and now you got to go do it again
Yes.
to
And that is
get
so
the right
true.
people. It's expensive to hire the wrong people.
It is.
So
I
let's
like
throw in
that.
a
I like how you
realtor.
put that.
So let's throw
Ooh,
in a realtor. So now
okay.
you've got 4 schools, you've got
Mhm.
24, I think you said, employees that work with you. So now you're a realtor too? Because a
Yes,
realtor is like a time and a half, it's like a
I
full-time
am.
plus a half-time job.
You're right.
It's not just a
Yes, so
full-time job,
I
it's an
do
all-time job.
real it's an all-time job. So I got into real estate, when I moved back to the Monks Corner area in 2018 is when I tell you my license, but I went to real estate school in 2017. And my focus, because you probably know this because we're Facebook friends, I don't really market real estate. My
Right.
focus was I wanted to learn it for me. I wanted to be
Okay.
able to do property investments and
Sure.
be able to have a better understanding of all those processes because and also be able to own my own buildings. So it was like I
Yeah,
got into
yeah.
it for me. So a lot of my real estate clients, I guess I really do real estate part time because a lot of my clients are organic. It's people
Right,
who
right.
come to me and they say, "Oh, I know you're a realtor and I want you to help me." Or, "Oh, can you help me get into real estate?" I get a lot of
Sure.
that. So I have some residential clients, but I mostly do a lot of my own purchasing my own buildings, purchasing my own homes and do it myself.
Good for you. Because that's another
Thank you.
whole, I mean, that's a whole thing, right? Is investing in real estate as
Yes,
as
yes,
a, I want to say homeowner, but as a real estate owner,
yes.
because they're not making any more real estate. They're not making any more. And everybody
No.
needs a place to live, right? Or a
Right.
place to house their
Exactly.
business. If you're buying buildings and commercial buildings and things like that, that is
Exactly.
and you can make such a difference there too, right? I was looking up
Right.
Monk's Corner just to see how big this community is. And it has grown In the last 20 years, it's like grown 3 times its size.
Quadrupled.
Yeah, yeah, I looked at them like,
Yes.
"Oh my gosh." Okay, so you look at it and it says about, I don't know what the Google said was about 14,000 people, and in
Yes.
1990 it was like 3,000 people.
Yes. And that is correct.
I mean, that's
Yes.
incredible. The
We
growth
are
in that town.
we're the fourth largest growing city in the state.
Wow. And
A little small.
what do you attribute to that?
So
What is
in
it
the
that's making it grow so fast? Is this the year that you're going to stop paying rent? Is this the year that you are going to finally purchase your own home? But where do you start? How do you get your questions answered? Well, I'm Robin McCoy, and I'm a Texas realtor with Keller Williams. Relax, I got this. I have a home buyers masterclass the first Saturday of every month, and it's free to you, and it's all online. Just text the word masterclass to 214-226-3770, and we'll get you registered and on the path to home ownership. What is it that's making it grow so fast?
Well, my personal thoughts are that the areas that were usually the popular areas like Charleston, Mount Pleasant, those areas have become expensive and they've become
Mhm.
crowded. So people are pretty much kind of migrating out into the outer skirts because Moncks Corner used to be country, very, very, very country.
Yeah.
Both of my parents are from Moncks Corner, so this is where all my family's from, and we've watched it pretty much, like you said, grown through 3 to 4 times
So you
10
went
years
back
around.
home.
I went back home. I went back home, Robin. Yes, and I just wish that my grandparents were alive to see this day
Yeah.
because, you know, like the saying goes, "I am my ancestors' wildest dreams." Like, they would have never imagined me serving as a councilwoman in the
Right.
hometown that they've grown. I have generations of growth and family here, you know?
I
So,
think
yeah.
that's so
But
tell me a little bit about that city council stuff. Tell me
yeah.
what prompted that and what has been your experience?
Oh, well, I am going in on 3 years. Next year will be 3 years that I've been serving as a town councilwoman. Never had a day of politics or experience of politics in my life, except for ABWA.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have our own little internal thing going on.
Yes.
But
Yes, we do.
um, side note to that, I will say that the things I learned at ABWA and the methods and the instructions that we received in that program is what helped me with this political career. I have to give
Yeah.
ABWA that respect, especially my ladies in Columbia, South Carolina, with the Midlands chapter. They poured into me, and so we don't realize sometimes how our life experiences prepare us for a future we didn't know that we were going to have.
Yeah,
And that's
right?
what that's what happened with the town council. You know, I'd moved home because I went through a broken situation with a previous marriage and packed my children up and pretty much kind of moved home. And I was pretty much kind of low key, like I'm just trying to get my life together, get my mind right.
Sure.
And I had someone approach me. I had two people actually approach me, and they were like, "We want you to run for town council." I'm like, "Town what?" Are you serious? you
What are
know,
you saying? I
and
don't think I'm hearing you
yes,
correctly.
yeah. I was like, "Town what?" And Robin, I promise you, I am like probably the most introverted person with a little bit of public, hey, I can socialize, but mostly like, hey, I'm okay by myself.
Yeah.
Introverted
Yeah.
person. So it was a shock. I said, well, give me some time to think about it. I gotta think about it. And I did. I said, well, you know what? I'm gonna take this run because I love serving. I
Right.
love serving. When I lived in Columbia, I served in the communities with ABWA. We did a lot of serving. I've always done mentorships. Even when I was young in college, I served in the NICU at the hospital when before, of course, post COVID. But those are things I love giving back. So I was like, well, I can just definitely give back on a larger scale by being
Sure.
able to serve the community, help with business owners, help just be a voice. So I was like, okay, I'll try it. I didn't expect to win. You know, it was one of those things where I was like, I'm gonna try it.
I will learn from the experience.
And be prepared for the next time, you know?
Yeah.
And once I got in, it was like, no, and started talking to the community, meeting new people, and, you know, seeing how much they believed in me and pouring those resources out of me. I was like, oh no, I need to be there for them. You know, if the community sees me as a beacon of light to be able to serve, I need to show up for them, show up for
Yeah.
myself, and just be that light, hopefully. So it's been, you know, I ran one and and then because it wasn't a 50% plus one, we had to do a runoff. So I was like, okay, well, I made the first cut. Yay!
Yeah.
You know, we did that. So ran again, and won again. And even, you know, just this whole experience has been, I've learned so much in the last 2.5, 3 years that, you know, I want to continue to be able to serve, council or not. I want to be able to serve. My council members have been phenomenal. Our mayor has been phenomenal. They take me under their wing. Anytime I have questions, they answer them. I've attended the municipal academies and just have learned a wealth of knowledge of how we, just as regular people, which, you know, can actually serve on a larger scale and be an impact to our communities. And I feel like, yes, it's all about making a difference, just like that Footprints in the Sand poem, you know. Long after I finish serving, long after I leave this life, you know, we leave a legacy behind. And that legacy can be serving the elderly, serving the younger children in the community, serving the business owners. And those are like the 3 topic areas that I really focus on, is being able to touch point all of those different age groups or business owners and be able to inspire them to stay involved, stay committed. Because a lot of times, especially in smaller communities, people, they get their high school diploma, leave, never look back.
Right.
It's like, pew, I'm gone. You know?
I've been waiting for this day since I was 3 years old. I'm out.
Exactly. And they're gonna drop the bike afterwards.
Yeah. See y'all.
And I'm not even, I might come home for Christmas, you know?
Yeah.
So it's up to us, those who are still here, because I came back. I never thought a day in my life I would be back in Moncks Corner. But it's up to those of us who are here to make this an impactful place for our community, our children, you know, the seeds that we're planting. And that's what I want to do as a council member. And that's how I've been kind of paving the way and obtaining the experience as well.
Well, I think it's incredible, especially with a community growing as fast as Moncks Corner is, to make sure that, like you said, the seniors and the children and the business owners all don't get lost in that growth, right? You've got your small business owners that have had that hardware store in town in their family for 100 years or whatever it is, and now Home Depot opens outside of town, right? How do we make sure that this hardware store owner can survive? The coffee shop diner owner, because as you grow, that's when the chains all come in, right? And really, I mean, it means shop local takes on a whole new meaning in a community such as yours.
It does. It does.
So what do your kids think about all of this? What do your kids think about, Mom, we went from rice and beans to now you're a councilwoman? I mean, they've got to be incredibly proud of you.
I got boys, you know.
Well, there's that. Okay. Boys.
Okay.
I mean, I'm guessing they talk to their friends and go, you know what? My mom's pretty cool. They may not say it to you, I guess, but they probably go,
yeah,
my mom's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, sometimes they say it. The youngest one, he's just all about sports life right now, and he gets a little bit involved with the business, and he'll ask questions, or if he hear me talking on the phone, he'll be like, "Mama, what happened?" You know. So we have those conversations. my oldest, the youngest is 15, my oldest is 21, and right now he's in trying to find his own. He is inspired. He has told me that he wants to be a business owner like me.
Good.
So he's in barbering school now, doing his barbering training and wanting to,
Excellent.
we're setting the platform for him to be his own business owner at a young age.
Yeah.
So they saw
Yeah.
the hustle. They were there from the beginning. We went from living with my cousin in a one-bedroom apartment, sleeping on the floor, to now, having a nice home and being able to live comfortably.
Yeah.
They like to throw this
Yeah.
little term, "Oh, we rich." I say, "No, we not rich. Bring that down."
And first of all,
We're
I'm
not
rich.
rich.
You're not rich at all. I'm the one that got the money.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So, it's one of those balances where I
Sure.
teach them to be humble too. Because
Yes.
again, things happen. We have seen over the course of many years people who have been successful and lose everything. It just takes one incident. So, I make sure I keep them grounded, if that
Yeah.
makes any
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and you have to, especially these days.
Right.
I can't even imagine. And I didn't have children in the school system when the whole COVID thing was going on. I
Oh
can't
gosh.
imagine trying to raise children today. I just am amazed at every human being that can, one, keep a child alive and, feed them and keep a roof over their head.
Okay.
And, and then they were homeschooling them and they were working while homeschooling, and I just am in awe.
Listen, Robin, I had a subscription to Wine Shop at Home during COVID, during COVID and homeschooling. It was like, this is for the birds. I remember
Yeah.
I remember calling the teacher and I was like, listen, my degree is in early childhood. Your degree is in math. I can't teach this crap. We need some help. You know, we need some
Yours
help
is
out
in
here.
high school math, not early
Yes,
childhood.
yes.
That's
So,
funny. That's
yes. I
funny.
was like, can you do a video or something? So yes,
Help
it
me.
was
Help me.
shout out
Uh,
to all the parents
yeah.
who endured that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
understand we
right?
did it for safety reasons and it needed to be done, but I know we are so thankful they're back in school. You got to go.
So tell me, what is one thing that maybe we didn't chat about? What is one thing that you would like to share with maybe someone that is thinking of starting that business and is afraid, don't have any money, not sure what direction to turn? What
Mhm.
can you tell them? What kind of gem can you drop on them today?
I mean, I know it's a classic saying, but do it scared and
Yeah.
and take the first step. Like, don't try to eat the whole elephant at one time. And I think that's where a lot of business owners kind of they don't succeed is we try to focus on the bigger picture instead of accomplishing the smaller steps.
Yeah.
Let's tackle steps 1 through 5 and celebrate. And then we'll focus on setting a goal for um, steps 5 through 10 and then celebrate. And, people always say, oh, follow the business plan, follow the business plan. I wrote that business plan and have not looked at that business plan since 2012. So I don't come
Well, heck,
and
you
I'm
didn't have to turn it into a bank. They weren't going to give you any money. So who needs it?
okay. It was a waste for me. Now, hindsight, if I decide I want to go and open up a multi-million-dollar business, I understand the value in the business plan because
Yeah.
I would need it then for the banks. But in the very beginning, oh, try not to bite off more than you can chew because you don't want to choke. You need to
Yeah.
know what you can handle up front and be successful with that, and say that you're accomplishing something. Because I mean, we as humans, we need that pat on the back. We need to know that we're
Yeah.
making strides. We need to know that we're moving forward. We need to know that we're doing good, even if it's just for ourselves. So if you're looking at the big elephant and you're trying to swallow this big elephant, you're gonna get discouraged.
Nibble on the trunk first and work your way back.
And you're gonna get there. I promise you.
You'll get
just
there.
Keep going one step at a time. Yeah. So that's some advice that I always give to business owners, that just let's focus on each step and build a strong foundation.
Yeah.
That's another thing. You don't have to jump in with the roof or like I always refer to, I guess because I'm a realtor, I always refer to building a house is you got to have a solid foundation before you can put up any walls. And if you don't have that, when that storm comes, you're going to be swaying and you're going to, this is my early childhood part coming out. You're going to huff and puff and that house is going to fall. So you have to make sure that that you have a solid foundation to hold you when times get rough.
Right. So don't rush. Like you said, it took you found this place really fast. You said, this is the place, but it took you 10 months to open the door and accept your first students, right? Because you had to build it. You had to build it. You can't just throw the kids into this old, what did you say it used to be? The old flower shop. It used to be a flower shop. Yes.
And
say, this is your new classroom. Just isn't going to do what you want it to do.
No. And don't get discouraged if you don't get the loans. Just be resourceful.
Yeah. Be resourceful. And I think a lot of times we have this idea that we have to have all the money before we can get started. And in fact, you just need some of the money to take, like you said, the first step.
Yeah. I had $38 in my bank account when I called. Like, it literally really was a mustard seed of faith, So,
$38. Well, you know what? But you said you try and keep your kids humble and you humble and remember how it all started. And you remember you had $38.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I mean, impactful.
Yes.
See, you're amazing. I told you were amazing.
So are you, Robin? That's how we hot twin sisters.
I know. Yeah, it was, I really, when we were both on that, the top 10 for 2019, it was just such, it was so great to meet you and get to know you a little bit. And then COVID kind of kept everybody separate and over the last few years, but I was going through who needed to be on this show and your name went, of course she does. Latorie needs to be on this show, so I get a chance to talk to you. So thank you so much. I so appreciate you spending some time with me and just sharing your experience because you've done many things and and I know that nothing was easy and it you say, you opened in this date and now you've got 4. I know there were troubles along the way and there were struggles and probably some tears and yet persevering through. And now you can, 10 years later, 4 schools, city councilwoman, realtor, mother, daughter, all the things.
Okay, that part too. Yeah.
And I think I did get the opportunity to meet your mother one time at an ABWA event. And I could tell you two are mother-daughter.
Thick as thieves, yes.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Crushing It with Your Tribe with Latorie Lloyd. And she is my top 10 sister, and we're so happy to have her. Thanks again for listening. Who you're in business with matters, so make sure you tune in again, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks for joining us for Crushing It with Your Tribe with Texas Realtor Robin McCoy. Check out all the show notes for contact information on Robin and her guests and to access your free resources and information discussed on this episode. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a conversation. Thanks again, and we will see you next time on Crushing It with Your Tribe with Robin McCoy.